Okay, next on the bench, Airfix 148 scale English electric lightning. You can't buy this kit from a shop anymore, they've stopped making it, but they are quite readily available on various auction sites and things like that, but they don't go cheap. This kit costs about £60, but I've got to say it's a very good kit. It all fits very nice. It's not overly complex, and I've got every confidence it'll make into a nice model. This I've bought specifically for two reasons. A, I think it's the most beautiful Cold War British aircraft ever made. It's just an amazing aeroplane. I think it's probably my favourite aircraft, to be fair. And it's because I can foil it, and I like foiling model aeroplanes, so that's what we're going to do with this one. I'm tilting the box because my light tends to glance off the cover, so let's get cracking with it. Footage to follow. Okay, I'm not actually going to film the building of this kit from I don't know, cockpit engine sort of perspective, because it's not really that interesting, to be fair. It fits reasonably okay, but all I want to do is get this kit to the point where I can get the fuselage together, and then I can start foiling it. So, okay, first job I need to do with this is to make sure this front nose cone fits really well. The front nose cone is a different kind of finish to the rest of the aircraft. I've studied it a little bit, and it seems this part of the nose cone here is made of stainless steel. It's not aluminium, so it always looks shiny, whereas the rest of the plane doesn't. It can look quite dull. So what I want to make sure is I don't want to glue it on now. I want to finish this as a separate item, but I can't. If once I start foiling around this nose here, I can't start doing this, if you know what I mean. So I have to put quite a bit of pressure on there, forcing it into place, and then sanding it so it fits. Okay, when I do this, I'm not going to film painting the glue on, but this is the glue I use. Everybody asks what glue do you use. This is the glue, microfoil metal foil adhesive. You can get it from Amazon, and you can get it from eBay, and probably some model shops sell it as well. And what I do, you can paint it onto the foil if you want to, but I've started to prefer painting it onto the plastic itself. I just find it easier, because if you don't get enough on the foil in the right place, you can't overlap anyway, so it's just easier to paint it on the model itself. So I do that, and what I tend to do, I paint it on and I dry it with a hairdryer. I'm not going to film those stages, just assume that's what I've done on every part that I do. I've worked out what makes the difference in getting a good finish with foil is getting the glue down first accurately. Now the best way to do that I'm finding is to make sure you put the glue on quite, don't scrape it on with a brush. If you try and get your brush and over brush it, if you start brushing away at it until it starts to dry, you'll get brush marks in it, and it will then show through the foil itself. So it's better to put the glue on quite a lot of it really, and let it settle, and then just gently brush it out and then let it settle and then dry it, and then you don't get lumps and bumps and brush marks in it. So I can probably get away with doing this sort of finish if I keep doing that without having to sand it too much, because I'd like to keep this sort of finish because it looks very authentic. Anyway, we'll move on to the next piece, and I'm not sure what that's going to be yet. I might do this nose here, this bit here. Okay, the next bit I'm going to do now is this area here. It has two quite, well, reasonably raised bits of detail just there, so I've got to negotiate that a little bit. Okay, I've just added a piece to the side of the fuselage on that, and it's gone quite nicely. That this is a progress so far. Slow process. This, you can't rush it, unfortunately. So I'm going to do this piece here next. So following panel lines are very useful. I don't really like panel lines too much on models, but when you're foiling, panel lines are your friend. So I'm going to do along that line there, up there, and along there. So it's this piece here I'm going to do next. Just a quick tip, when you're using a blade on foil, it does tend to dull off quite quickly, but instead of replacing the blade all the time, just kind of give it a tickle with some leather, so it's just stropping it, and I find that's enough just to keep the blade usable for cutting the foil. So there we go, it's quite sharp, is that now? Okay, I'm going to try and attempt to file this front nose section here where the undercarriage bay is. It's just because the way the panel lines are arranged and everything, it'd be difficult to do it in multiple pieces, so if I can do it in one piece I will, so wish me luck. Couldn't do it in one piece, so I'm having to create a fake panel line just there. It's not a big deal. Okay, last bit for this nose, on this side anyway. Okay, this tail end's quite a difficult piece to do actually. This bit goes here, which it has like an arrestor hook arrangement inside there and then clipped into here. So, but foiling it is quite hard because that has to kind of go there, then wrap around the front here and then wrap around the front there. So I want to be able to do this in that piece there, which is quite a big piece to do, and I don't know if I can do it. If I can't, I'll have to do it in multiple pieces and create some fake joints, and we'll see how it goes. may not have mentioned this, but when you've put the glue on and everything and you've finished a piece of foil, it's really important to clean off all the excess glue. Use IPA, isopropyl alcohol, and it wipes it off lovely. Just got to keep going at it. It's surprising when you sand it, it'll pick up on any glue that's left behind and you'll see all black streaks in it. So it's a kind of a good way of finding out if there's any glue left on the model. Just make sure I give it a wipe over. It also gets rid of grease off your fingers, so when you put the next piece of foil on, it doesn't cause any trouble. If there's too much grease on the model when you're putting the glue on, it will bead up on the surface as well, so you can tell if it's greasy. That's that bit done. I'm glad that bit's done. Okay, I've filed all the back end now. Apart from this little bit, I'm going to just show this on film because it's kind of an interesting little piece to do, is that? So I thought I'd show that part. That's where the one of the elevators fits. Just kind of plugs into there. Right, so yeah, we'll just file that little bit now, and then this side's done. Still got that side to do though. Okay, that's basically one side of the fuselage done. A bit more of the underneath done, of course, as well. So that's the complete belly pan filed, and the back end. Back end was quite the most difficult bit to do, really. It still needs a lot of work doing on it as regards finishing, because I need to touch in some of the silver bits that you can't foil, like these little covers here and things like that, and add some bits of black paint into little, little vents and things like that. But generally speaking, I'm quite happy with that. So what I need to do next off video is to finish this side, which is another probably 2 or 3 days work on that. So once that's done, then I can start adding on all the other stuff, actually start the cockpit. I'm very confident that cockpit's quite possible to do actually after I've finished the foiling process. At least it's good enough to put the canopy on anyway. So that's part one. That's how to, I hope that's kind of giving you some information as to how to go about foiling this particular model. Now I'm going to go through, before I go, tool I've used there, Amazon. It's a kit that you get from Amazon, and in the kit it's for sculpting. You get things like this with it, these little tools. And these are all for clay sculpting. It's a complete kit. I'll put a link in the description. So So that's the tool that I've been using primarily. It's just a wooden stick with a point on it. You also need this adhesive. People, I get comments about what adhesive shall I use, etc. and some people say, oh, just use PVA. Try PVA if you want, but I can't get it to work. It doesn't stick to anything because you dry it and it dries and that's it, and it doesn't leave a tacky surface behind. This is a contact adhesive when it's dry. So that's the stuff that works for me. Again, I'll put a link in the description. And you also need to use, for your cleanup, you need to use isopropyl alcohol. I buy this from Amazon. You get it in these bottles in 6 at a time for £20. It's not expensive stuff, and it lasts for ages. And you need this to clean up every time you put a piece of foil on. Clean the glue residue off with this, and it works a treat. Other than that, I can't think of anything else to tell you really. So that's part 1. Part 2 to follow. I'm going to try and keep it in 2 parts this video. So this part's just been how to foil the fuselage. Off camera, I'll finish the fuselage itself, and then part 2 will be foiling the wings. I'll just do one wing, of course, and then we'll finish the whole model. So I'll paint put all the decals on, and paint the rest of the this top spine here is blue. You've got the fin to go on there, and the fin's blue as well. It looks very smart when it's finished. I think it'll look quite nice. Gun ports need painting in, and I've got the nose ring to put on and everything else like that. So yeah, I'll do that on part 2. So there we go, part 1.